Once again, good morning for those who are just joining. Tuesday, June the 9th of 2020. And today the main topic to conclude the week and the semester is transfer. Then we will talk about the grades and some experts. We'll finish today with the week and the course. We are going to say goodbye today and farewell for some people. You will have your final grade after this recording. Okay. As you will see, is referred to the connection of one brain. Okay, you only have one brain and two hemispheres. But I'm talking about how you can have 2 or 3 brains, depending on your languages, how they are affected or not in understanding and in producing things, words, messages, ideas, when they interfere. Of course, at the beginning, we have to make use of our Spanish. It's difficult, or I don't know, it's debatable. You can tell me something. When you are studying English and the teachers say, or someone says, it's going to empezar al inglés. Empezar a pensar en inglés. But what is this? I'm going to change my brain. I'm going to change, but if I don't know the words. But it's more or less something related to that. How you can use your Spanish, not to translate everything, but to make like a bridge. Later, in the further literature, you will find something about interlanguage, and transfer more in detail. But this is just like an overview that is important to know this concept, okay? Brown, our hidden leader of the book, was, language acquisition theories. In this perspective, I just took like some quotes from his book. Not gonna read them out loud. Just gonna give them some seconds. Because what is the idea? After this, I present the Excel with the grades, and then we start with the 3 experts about transfer. All right? Questions? Some seconds. I give you some time to read, but you can ask me something about the class or about whatever today you need the grades or the class, okay? No more than 1-2 minutes to read and analyze these comments. Try to think about how Brown's ideas are connected to the activity of our friend. Okay, hello teacher, this is constructivism versus behaviorism. How do you understand this in the recording that I sent with the monitor, okay? 1 minute. Okay, so there it is. I can get back to the presentation anyways to discuss, but I am almost sure that Isabel Nicolas, and Carlos, I guess those 3 people, I understand my hand right? Yes, they are going to be the experts about transfer. I can allow them, if they want to, they have a grade and they want to improve it, or they don't have a grade in the oral report, for example, or somebody else if you want. For example, the people who don't have a grade in this oral report. Today is the day to speak. Open your cameras. I'll be waiting for you now, 1 hour maybe, starting now, to speak about transfer. Or to tell me, no teacher, I want to propose a plan B or a plan C. I want to create a video, but I want to see maybe today 5 videos, no more. Because I don't want to stress the last day for things that you didn't stress in advance. The people that were attentive to the classes, to the participation, to opening camera, to sending videos. By the way, last night I got 2 or 3 emails, maybe Camila, Karen, Janice. Well, I got it last night. I saw the email this morning, so I have to put it there. But if we had an agreement, if you had an agreement and you send me the email before the class, everything's perfect. I just have to update this Excel. This Excel is not done. You understand? It's not finished, of course. Questions so far? Can I help someone else? Now, about the syllabus. I'm taking my time, Some people had the grade, but it's basically the evidence where in the forum. Quickly. Wait a minute. In this forum, you will see. But I like to take my time. Today and tomorrow, I will be answering the syllabus grade. The deadline was more than 1 week ago. It's like more than 1 week ago. I'm just making sure to read the info, the name of the institution, the process. So as you can see, I am answering some of them. The criteria is the same, of course, to be fair. I cannot evaluate different people with different criteria. But remember, it was a process of almost 2 or 3. You started with a CLL activity, and then you transform it into constructivism, and you learn about micro-teaching. Micro-teaching. And then this process continues as you improve it to a syllabus, a micro syllabus, an example of how to plan 5 sessions. This is more or less the syllabus task. I don't know if you want to say something. I'm trying to personalize the messages with mistakes or congrats or good comments, you know, but just make sure there. Today and tomorrow, I'm going to take my time because I don't want to just give you a 3 or a 5 just because, but there is a puncting, you know, percentages and values and weights. Questions so far about the syllabus task? Most of you did a very good job. Okay, here's your question, but it's just a general comment. It was in red, like the title of the institution and the department. Maybe only 1 or 2 groups changed the color. And most of you changed the institution because it was imaginary. But I don't know if you put 9th grade, Universidad de la Gran Colombia, but in Universidad de la Gran Colombia, maybe the school. You know what I mean? This is like general comment about the syllabus. But what else? What else? There are A, B. In the other one, in the other forum, there are more syllabus, like 3 or 4 more. So to make a balance, I guess 3 or 4 groups have gotten the, which is evident here. Now, listen to you.
Teacher, about the syllabus task, my partners have the grade, but I don't, and we were a team.
Ah, okay. And after this recording, we are today for these issues. So don't you worry, don't you stress. We're going to confirm when we stop the recording. I talk to you particularly, and I put it, and I put the 1, the 5, what you deserve. Okay?
Okay.
I can do it quickly. You were working with whom? Just as an example, but we need to move on. Now,
Isabel, Carolina, and Maria Camila.
Carlos, get ready for the presentation. Or let me know, no, you're not ready, so I continue. Okay, with Isabel, Santa Maria, okay, sorry. So Angie, Lorena, right?
No, I'm Paula.
I am here, Angie, Lorena. Sorry to see the... Paula Liscano.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. Okay, Paula Andrea.
Yeah.
You were there. Okay. Liscano.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is, you see?
Thank you.
Just as an example, I'm not gonna do it with everyone, but after the recording. I hope it's clear. I'm not gonna talk about the previous weeks or midterms, that is done, but just to see the 16 weeks process. And this is 4 grades that I showed you at the beginning in the formula. And this is, make sure, please, anyways, it happened yesterday with a group that everybody had very good grades, and the last was, in the formula, there was a problem. I just wanna show it quickly. 30%, 30%, 40%, yes. Because they were failing, but with good grades, you understand? So you need to be aware of the numbers. I am not asking you to become experts on Excel, but at least to understand that there is not because I have a 2 and a 3, what happened? Let's see. 30, 40, 30. Yes, this is. Y el último vale 5%, 10%, 20%, 20%. Yeah, I guess it's right, but you can confirm it. Okay. Questions so far about this? Anything else?
Teacher?
Particular issues after the recording, but I'm talking about general issues of the group, of the class, of the dates, of the feedbacks. I listen to you. Come on.
I send you the syllabus task via Gmail, but we don't have.
I am not rude. I am not furious or anything. Don't worry. But why did you send it to the email?
Because the file was too big to upload in the platform. I told you.
You should have. Okay. And did you write something on the forum? Like, did you make comments about the other PDFs or something?
No.
Okay. Quickly. The instruction says you're going to have a grade valid when I see you commenting at least 2. Bueno, la subida fue hasta el 29. But you can continue this week. You see? Comment to the other group, syllabi. Syllabi is el plural de syllabus. Syllabi, keeping it academic and respectful. In that way, when I see you there, and maybe this is the forum for the syllabus. At least you should have taken a screenshot of your document. I am going to grade it today, don't worry. But it's just to, if you are part of the group, you are supposed to be part of the forum and the discussion. You can do it today still. You know what I got? Jessica,
teacher,
what?
sorry, but I put the syllabus in the forum.
Yes?
Yeah.
So why? That's my question.
Is that, I don't know. Okay, Camila ya lo puse. Yo ya lo había puesto.
Maybe in B, maybe because there are two proposals. Quickly, I'm gonna see this. I'm still waiting for Isabel, Nicolas, and Carlos. No, you're not. You're done. Yeah. So in 2 minutes, you open your camera and you're gonna give us the conclusion of transfer and the conclusion of the course. Maybe Luisa, let me know if at the end, like in 20 minutes, you can speak. I'm just
I was waiting for you. I mean.
Yeah. Sorry, Stephanie.
Oh,
Yeah. And this is syllabus proposal B. This is the one that I saw, but I haven't started replying. That's what I like to tell you. I like to take my time. That's the issue. And in B, there it is. Some people, Nicolas and Laura. But I guess it's in the other. You put it in both forums, A and B, because I already checked and read Nicolas and Laura. Well, we can tell. Jessica is there.
Yeah, we put it.
So why did what in both forums? But if you put it there, you are supposed to participate in this forum and activate it or remove it. You know what I mean? It's your class, it's your discussion. I am only a guide, like a machine saying, he did it, he didn't do it, she did. I cannot be like, I like to give feedback, but especially when it's group time. Follow the rubrics, follow the indications in the forum. We still have today to make comments about this forum. Remember that I'm going to send you tomorrow a screenshot with the Excel, with this Excel finished, with the videos, with today's interventions. I'm going to send you a screenshot tomorrow about this Excel with the monitor. So you can see, well, this is my final grade, definitely. There are some grades, but you can improve them with the syllabus. Of course, yeah. Definitely, I will check them today or tomorrow. What else? Stefania?
Teacher, I have a question. The audio about the last class I tell you, I speak about the behaviorism.
Yes, but I don't know why
I send the audio by
yes,
email.
but it's the same. I talked to Claire Fabian, but it's just I don't know why you created a recording. The idea was to see you on camera. So if you want to open it today, good. I can validate some grade for the recording, but well, I presented this 3 weeks ago. I am not inventing this today. Just a minute about the. At the beginning of the semester, I talked about this. The oral report, tienen hasta la 16. So that means you had 4 or 5 weeks to send videos, to make proposals. Not everybody presented the same, some people on camera. But this is pretty much what I assessed. And if in a recording, Stefania or Clayder, because for example, well, Clayder participated in different things, but how can I check your oral expression in a recording? That's my meaning. And I put this like 3 weeks ago. I am not presenting this today, you know? These rubrics were presented.
I present my oral presentation with the micro teaching.
Yeah, I remember we took your example.
Yeah. And the proposal was to send the audio about behaviorism and constructivism, the similarities.
Because you appear on camera, so I told you, let's create a recording now. And there it is, 4A, but I told you now 4.9. Remember the email? Now, but the other girl I'm speaking with, Stefania, did I see her on camera?
Okay.
Have I seen her in 4 or 5 weeks in a video or something proposal? People like get concerned when they see a bad grade the last day. So I don't want to stress about things you didn't before. Luisa left, but it's maybe because she got bored, she got something to do or connectivity issues, because maybe she doesn't want to see the grades of the other classmates. This is not the idea of today's session, but after the recording, I can help you with particular cases I told you. In the agenda, so 5, no more than 10 minutes to Isabel, Carlos, and Nicolas is the time to speak about transfer, please. It's like an example of the 16 weeks. Si estamos en este momento escuchando transfer, concentrados en lo que sigue, terminamos el ciclo, en lo que estamos. But if you're thinking about your grades, about the syllabus, about a different subject, I am sorry, you will be lost. And the most important, you won't understand transfer. Lo vimos alguna vez in language theory, but no idea because that day I was concerned about something else. You know, I like to speak in a high tone because I am active and dynamic, but I am not mad. I'm not like furious or angry with you anymore. No, take it easy. Okay, what is? Isabel, I'm just gonna put it as a background.
Yeah.
And you speak. I see you.
Okay, let me open my camera.
Carlos Rojas and Nicolas, you had some agreement, please. How is that? So tell me,
Yes.
what do you know about Isabel? And the rest of you guys, I want to see you. Speak about it.
Oh, it's just like general aspects about it, because I mean, you already spoke about something about it. And well, basically, the language transfer is when you use your previous knowledge in one language, in your first language, and you apply it to the second language that you're learning. This has some advantages and disadvantages because, as you were saying before, some structures from the different languages are different. And if you use some structure that you think that in your language is fine, but you translate it to English, sometimes it does not sound good or is not grammatically or linguistically correct. So in that way, that's one of the disadvantages. But the other one is that as languages are in some way related, as we know, they share their roots and they share, well, some grammatical structures. In that way, this type of, well, this language transfer will be very useful. And what else? This, uh, mhm, as another type of disadvantage is that this can create something called hybrid text. And what does that mean? That means that you are going to start mixing your language and the language that you're learning. So you're mixing the structures, you're mixing some kind of things that makes your speech less comprehensible.
Is it with Y or with I? I forgot my spelling now. About this hypertext, what do you think that, is it with Y? With Y? Hyper. What can be an example of this hypertext for you, Isabel, as we go concluding? For you, Isabel, when you were learning English or you are learning a language?
I was trying to remember one of those, but I don't actually know one. It's like literally translated from Spanish, but I don't remember any sentence or something.
Okay, an example, but it's in a different level. An example of, for example, is hypertext that we shouldn't try to promote there, but is false cognates, falsos amigos, false friends. For example, actually, you know,
or
you process it, you got it from Spanish, and it's gonna be actualmente, but no, actually means realmente, in fact, you know, clear. Isabel, Stephanie, just to conclude this part, two more things, please, before you say, because I lose the idea. No. Please, what example you can say that are languages related? For example, in your case, that you want to learn a new language. How language transfer can help you if you have to decide Russian or Portuguese, or for example,
so sorry, I didn't understand.
How do you evidence language transfer? Is it useful for you if you have to take a decision, if you have to make a decision between choosing?
Yeah, I think that is when you're deciding what language you want to learn. It's, for example, if you want to learn French, it's because you have the idea that is similar to Spanish, that it would be easier to learn it. But well,
at least in the grammar, but not in the pronunciation, but at least in the grammar, yeah, it's more connected than in English. Yeah, cool. And some more, you have 2 more minutes. Some more ideas, you want to mention some authors, some general aspects about this to conclude, Isabel, Stephanie?
Okay, well, I was thinking about an example of it. For example, based on and based, what is it? Based in. I think that's like based on. I know that we sometimes confuse those type of concepts, And well, basically, there's not much to say because in general, things, aspects, this is language transfer, the use of your language. And as we were talking before, it's very important to use it because we have like an idea of how language works. And in that way, we can produce something new that is going to be helping us to understand the new language and things like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically it's just like the general aspects of it.
Just to take into account that if a student makes a mistake, you don't have to be so rude or so critical, but to understand why the person is making a mistake. For example, in terms of level, B1 level, according to a European reference of framework of reference for languages, the B1 requires that you understand the difference of this topic. Verb preposition, es un tema que se llama así. Verbs and preposition depend on, what do you say? Based on, the verbal preposition is something you need to understand that is different in your system from Spanish. Depende de, but in English depends on, or depends in. Well, that is a good example. Thank you. You maybe last thing, if you want to say something about what is the difference between this language transferred and the hypertext to conclude with the people that were just arriving. Should we accept the hypertext according to this language transfer theory, or we should work to avoid the hypertext?
Well, I think that if you're a beginner, you should use language transfer and hypertext because in that way you can understand a little bit more about it. But if you're using it if you're trying to reach a higher level, you should avoid it because in some ways you can, as we were saying before, the false cognitions, you can start confusing both languages and mixing it and not making your speech clear. So
okay, the name of those are false cognates, cognates or false friends. Good, that's just one piece of the whole hypertext. In a higher level, try to avoid it because there are different interpretations. Isabel, you have your grade on the chat, don't you? I'm gonna put it in the Excel right now.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm set. No, thank you. And there you have some info to go concluding this topic. You know, it was like an overview, and especially in this virtual mood, we have to be very concrete with the info. We cannot be speaking. We should, but you will be in a different mood. 2 hours listening about transfer and transfer. And come on, let's read 20 pages. I hope you read it from Brown, especially. But well, that was like the main idea from the chapter about transfer in the Brown's book, which was our guiding book. I took those that I really caught my attention. How transfer involves previous learning is related, you know, with meaningful learning. When you learn teorías del aprendizaje, maybe it's related to aprendizaje significativo, something like that, constructivism, previous learning. Yeah, could be. And transfer is more not only a theory for teaching, but it's something that occurs, according to Brown, occurs in the human. Everybody, every language, every culture, in some moment when facing a different culture, a different language, we have transfer in our brain. Carry over from previous performance. ¿Qué tan bueno es para el español para que tan bueno sea para otra lengua, para inglés? Your structures on your Spanish are gonna have a good influence on your structures in a foreign language. Okay, good, great. Can we go to this last part, maybe? Well, remember after the recording, I can stay here to talk to some people about particular cases. Teacher, I have a 5, but I deserve a 4, or I have a 1, why? After recording, we did sell one by one, we assigned some terms, and there is, I hope it's clear today about the grades. The only one that I'm missing is syllabus task. As it takes time, it's not only like automatically 5, 3, but I like to tell with the rubric, read the mistakes, because I saw a collaborative work there. And to conclude, it was supposed to be Luisa, and to be honest, I want to give her one of the grades of the first term, the primer corte, included in this. Let me know if she can. If she's not, I can give you an alternative or plan B. But this is like the conclusion of our course. In spite of, let's say, learning a lot of theories and theoretical, let's say, literature, the books that we have, the people, the concepts, crashing, universal grammar, blah, blah. All of that also made you in this moment. In the test, you saw how you are in this type of information of years, names. But the most important is the reflection in your practice. As language learners, how do you understand that your brain works and your environment affects you? And in the perspective of the teacher, what is the value of language acquisitional learning? En este curso ya tenemos que tener súper claro. What is the difference between language acquisitional learning? If somebody opens the camera in this moment, this oral report is done. What is the difference between language acquisition and language learning? The difference between implicit and explicit, intentional, subconscious, and conscious. Number two, what theories? Okay, you know some names that I mentioned, communicative, the humanistic approach, that is not a method, all of those. And what are the latest language theories that drive the field? Last session, I explained something with an example of a quiz of e-learning, blended learning. Well, basically the answer for the last one is about this, blended learning, what we're doing. Some part virtual, some part in face-to-face. E refers to electronically, mobile refers to cell phone, blended is mixed, I told you, virtual only remote, but there are many variations of the different alternative theories nowadays that are in the vanguard of teaching. Flipped classroom, how the role of the teacher is less important and the student is more centered in the learning. CLL, computer language learning. And finally, that I remember the tendency, for example, in high schools, bilingual high schools or some programs, has to do with content language learning, CLIL, and maybe PBL, very constructivist, problem-based learning, aprendizaje basado en problemas. I guess that's it, in spite of the theory I'm telling you. I hope you have learned something, not only theory, but practice and practical things with your future students, or you yourself as autonomous learners. Thank you so much. I guess I will stop the recording because I've been waiting for Luisa, like the third time I call her, or someone else who would like to open the camera.
Teacher, Luisa
Paula
told us by WhatsApp that she has problems with her power in her house, so she doesn't have power at the moment.
Power or energy connection? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
but,
let's just tell her. I'm just saying that, because of that, we can let Luisa, if she's okay, that she can send a short video explaining her intervention and her material through the WhatsApp, so everybody can see it today, in the rest of the day. That can work as an alternative if she agrees. Let me know.
Okay.
And what is the idea? Next time you talk about theories or language learning and language acquisition, you start with these three questions clear in your mind, that you have like a solid answer, for example, in a job interview, in a school or in a university, in an institute, language institute, whatever. You have to have this clear. Okay, let's talk about language theories. Yes, I know something. In 16 weeks, I did something. Finally, we go concluding. In the Moodle, my friends, you can see in week 16, I remember I have to finish in the forums, commenting today and tomorrow. I'll send you the Excel tomorrow, like midday or in the afternoon. The Excel as it is in that moment, so you can see, okay, this is my grade that I saw and I improved a little bit, or there is any comment or correction. But just to conclude, in the last minute, conclude the recording with this image, the presentation of the Moodle, which has to do with the objectives, the aims, as metas, the goal, more instructive about the course. I hope you can accomplish, and basically by answering this, you say, okay, I passed the semester, I am failing, because I know this, más que las notas, has to be the accomplishment of these objectives, but it's called learning aims, metas de aprendizaje. Some seconds for you to see them.
Teacher, I have a question.
And well, sure, through a syllabus creation, through a micro teaching, through theories, infograms, timelines, and the exam, the idea is that you accomplish with these three in 16 weeks. Let me know if so or not. We still have time to do something. Now, question times before we start recording, maybe 2 or 3 people. Come on.
Well, it's just I have to talk about About what? About well, the same topic that Isabel speak about language transfer.
But I've been waiting
Yes,
for you, man. The recording started at
but
9:15, and the idea was that you discussed with Isabel. I only had it with her.
yeah, but well,
So
you start to speak,
what are you
so I
going to
expect
say?
you. Well, yeah. So
Man,
well,
at 9:15, I mentioned the names, and 9:30 again. And when Isabel, I said again the three names, Carlos, Nicolas, and Isabel. But now you still have, what are you going to do? Tell me. It's your time,
well,
it's your grade.
yeah. As this well, as the same is just to do a recap about language transfer, and yeah, how the language transfer is
No,
important
with all
for.
the respect that you deserve. Wait a minute. We don't, man, are you listening? With all
Yes.
the respect that you deserve. You want to say something? Activate your camera or create a video today. Otherwise, no way. Because recording, we have microphones for 16 weeks, but for 5 weeks. Today's the day to see you on camera, or let's just stop here the
Yeah.
recording. Okay,
Yeah, for
thank you.
sure.
Come on, go
Yeah.
ahead. No more than
Okay.
5 minutes. Contradict or argue or add what Stephanie said. But we don't see you, man.
Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute. I don't know what happened. There. Yes, you see me?
Yeah, sure. It's your time.
Yeah. Okay. So as Isabel said, well, language transfer is important for learn new language, but you have to be careful with what you have to do. Yeah, sometimes we confuse when we only like decide to translate and translate and translate, and don't like go further with the information we are going to search. For example, um, in Spanish we have a lot of like words. Yeah, for example, sobre. That word could be like a lot of meanings. Yeah, that could be like sobre when you put a card like inside. Yeah, that is sobre. Or when there is something up something. Yeah, sobre la mesa. Yeah. So when you have to translate this information, maybe if you're not a native speaker, it's like harder to understand that thing. Yeah, but if the same happen when you are learning, for example, people who is native speaking English learn Spanish. Yeah, there is something like happen. So yeah, like you start to confuse with some words. Of course, it's important to know all the meanings, but it's also is important to start not just thinking about just translate, but think about what you have to like the real meaning you want to express of yourself.
Nicolas, if you have a group of children, what is more
Yeah.
important for you? That they pronounce perfectly as American kids, or that they understand an American film, for example?
No, it's important. Well, at the beginning, of course, if they are kids, to understand what I am saying. Yeah, because it's a process. I'm not going to expect that children from I don't know 5, 6, 8 years speak perfect English because neither I think I speak like a native American or British. I don't know. So it's more important to understand, to first learn, and then to improve the other like aspects.
Okay, good. You just say something. If you want to say something, for example, to your coordinator, to your boss, you say, in my class, I assume a communicative approach. You can mention question. But what is the key of communicative approach? Comprehension. Okay,
Yeah.
that is clear. More than perfect accents of your student. This is
Yeah.
something related about the activity of the first. I want you to conclude with this. About the first activity, don't you worry about the name, but the recording. Did you listen to it at 9 a.m., Nicolas? Did you listen to the recording that we sent with the monitor at 9 a.m.?
Yes, the
Uh,
one
yeah,
WhatsApp?
yeah,
that
yeah. Yes,
Isabel
yes,
shared.
that is in the group. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and you see, it's not a matter of having a perfect accent or intonation, but the idea
Yeah,
was clear enough what he wanted to say. Don't you agree?
yeah, yeah. Well, I think I say yeah, it's important because the message was clear. Yeah, even if you, as you said, I don't know, you don't have to. Yeah, you don't know what you know, but I don't know how to explain. Wait a minute. I organize my ideas. You don't use your like perfect. You don't have a perfect English, but you still have an idea of how to communicate ideas, how to, yeah, how to, I don't know how to say, yeah, how to communicate ideas, how to be understand with other people. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's great. We need
Yeah.
more study on this because then it goes to bilingualism and the problems of bilingual children if they are using one or the interference. This is another topic, interference. But well, to conclude transfer, my friend, do you think that your pedagogical speech, what is this? What is the meaning of pedagogical speech? You know, Nicolas?
Well, no, not really.
Discurso.
Pedagógico, okay.
La cháchara que uno dice para argumentar una decisión o una... Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that now you can speak a little bit about transfer? For example, in a job interview or in a meeting with teachers or in a future class? You have an idea now?
Yeah,
you are not lost?
Yeah, I think so. I think I have some idea about like language transfer, and yeah, I think I could have a conversation about that and propose good ideas about the topic.
Okay, guys, the last issue here in week 15 for you to consider when you are speaking, be careful. What I'm going to say, constructivism, transfer, what concept? Is it a theory? Is it an approach? Or is it part of a theory? All right. For you to know, transfer refers more like a general concept. It's not a theory. It's more like a general concept of what happens in your brain when there are two languages, the learning of a foreign or second language. Thank you so much, Nicolas. I guess you have your grade. But two things to correct. You can use your microphone if you want, or your camera again. Two things that I corrected you, so you can give this knowledge to the rest of the class. What happened there? You see the chat? El uso de una gerund, de una ing, y el otro la pronunciación. What happened?
Okay, for learning?
Yeah, every time that you have a preposition, the next verb is in ing. On learning, of learning, for learning, at learning. Okay, don't forget that. Preposition and the verb with ing.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
And number two, what is the pronunciation of una persona nativa en...
It's native, yeah?
Native, but my teacher, just consider about this speech because this is debatable. Don't you say native because you are native, we are natives about what? You better say English speaker, is better, or native English speaker, because everybody's native. Got it?
Okay.
Thank you so much for this. Guys, it was my pleasure. So what is my work, my task? To work on the syllabus on the forums, to empower these forums and give you the final comments. Tomorrow I'm sending you the screenshot with the Excel, and that's it. Thank you so much for everything. It was my pleasure. Thanks. I really appreciate your patience and time, especially these 4 or 5 weeks. It was a little bit crazy because of the amount of information, so many students, and answering emails 1 or sometimes 2 weeks later. But everything is now, at least with this group, clear, I hope. So after recording particular cases, and wait for your Excel tomorrow with the final grade. Have a nice day. Thank you so much. See you around, I hope, next semester or next year in the university around. Keep on learning. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.